Emergency Management, the Iowa Emergency Management Association reached out to what was then known as the Emergency Management Division, our now Iowa Department of Homeland Security and Emergency Management. The ask was for assistance in forming a statewide voluntary agency group that could support across the state. With that ask, the Iowa Disaster Human Resource Council was formed. 20 years later, there's no more fitting a keynote speaker to have today than Steve O'Neill with the Iowa Emergency Management Association. Steve has been in the emergency management field for more than 25 years and has been a part of the IDHRC as well for much of that. In addition to having one of the longest standing citizen emergency response teams in Iowa, he's also supported the IDHRC's efforts in committees and activities for access and functional needs, long-term recovery groups, community organizations active in disaster, volunteer coordination, as well as disaster preparedness for houses of worship. I'm likely forgetting many other areas. As an emergency management coordinator, Steve is part of the Iowa Emergency Management Association, a professional society of local emergency management professionals united for the purpose of mitigating, preparing, responding, and recovering from the effects of man-made and natural hazards in order to preserve life and protect property for the citizens of our communities in the state of Iowa. We're thankful not only to have Steve speaking with us today, but also for his years of support and commitment to the IDHRC and the people of Iowa. I will hand it over now to you, Steve.
Thanks, Lori. Good morning, everyone. I was just looking at the picture in the bio, and if you notice the shirt I'm wearing now, that was not planned. I do own more than this one shirt. So, it's been a year and I'm still not quite used to these virtual meetings. I guess I'm a little old-fashioned. I really enjoy that personal contact and the human interactions that occur at these type of events, but we do need to be safe and look after each other. So maybe after another year, I'll be used to this. As Lori stated, 20 years ago, our Emergency Managers Association requested the formation of some kind of an organization that could assist us in disasters, specifically in recovery and long-term recovery. And fortunately for me and for other coordinators, that request became a reality in the form of the IDHRC. When I first started my career in emergency management, the coordinator from Emmett County, Terry Reekers, dear man, he explained to me, as he had done to coordinators, new coordinators before me and many after, that the emergency management position was about people and establishing relationships. That was probably the most important lesson I ever received on emergency management. And after serving 25 years in the coordinator's role, I'm still trying to follow that lesson. Our job as coordinators is to assist people in disasters and to find people to help us help those people. And this is really what the IDHRC is all about. It's a whole lot of people, individuals, groups who had the financial means, the materials, or the skills, or who know other people who can fill one of these needs, coming together to help people. 5 years before the formation of the IDHRC, I was the coordinator for Worth County, little bitty county clear up in the north end of the state. And during my tenure there, we experienced a couple of significant floods, a severe ice storm that left most of the county without power for almost 2 weeks. What I learned from those experiences was that recovery, and specifically long-term recovery, was really the disaster after the disaster. Government agencies such as emergency management and their workings are a necessity for structured operations like disaster preparedness and response. But the traditional top-down systems that we utilize fail to address the long-term recovery process because of its very unique problems. So how do we manage these unique long-term problems, long-term recovery? We mobilize. We mobilize people, we mobilize various stockholder networks, and then we utilize the people in the networks through organizations like the IDHRC, who then assist our local COADs and our long-term recovery committees to coordinate nonprofits, faith-based groups, associations, and other services to streamline diverse critical services. We've all seen over the years what happens when government services are slow to respond or come up short on recovery efforts. Katrina is a prime example of this. When the government came up short, the people rolled up their sleeves and they made things happen. This included faith-based groups, volunteers, businesses, non-government organizations, all working together to get those affected by the disaster what they needed. During the floods of 2008 and more recently, the derecho that swept across Iowa, the IDHRC sprang into action to assist emergency management coordinators, local COADs, and long-term recovery committees and their communities. Disaster preparedness, response, and especially long-term recovery require a team effort. A team of government agencies, non-government organizations, volunteers, faith-based, and service organizations. A team of people who live in, work in, and who really understand the needs of their community. It's very safe to say that 20 years ago, I had very little knowledge of COADs, VOADs, long-term recovery committees. What I did know was that I needed help to better serve my communities, especially in those recovery times and that long-term recovery. Our association made the request for this assistance, and wow, did we ever get it with the formation of the IDHRC. The IDHRC has done so much valuable work over the years, and each year it keeps getting better and more innovative. But we need to do more. We need to have more active COADs, more long-term recovery committees. We need more people and organizations to be involved, to become involved. We emergency managers need members of the IDHRC and their friends and affiliates to reach out to us local emergency management coordinators. Let us know who you are and how you can assist during disasters. Believe me, we need and appreciate all the assistance you can provide. So all of you that are out there part of the IDHRC or thinking of being part of the IDHRC or wondering how to get involved, do me a favor this summer. Reach out to your local emergency management coordinator. Let them know who you are and how you can help. And if you don't know who your local coordinator is, I bet you can ask Lori, and I'm pretty sure she can get you a name of that coordinator for your county. I'm really hoping that I hear a lot of knocking at my door this summer. I meet a lot of new people who will become friends, co-workers, and partners in the recovery, in helping our citizens in our local communities. So I want to thank you for allowing me to speak to you today, and I hope you all have a great conference. Thank you.